Okay, we're going to do a short demo here of generative AI controls that we have within the firewall, within the security platform. So basically, what's happened is, generative AI is really big. There's like a lot of this stuff now. Um, Looks like there's something like 2,400 AI applications right this minute. And I think I've seen projections saying that that could be as high as 60,000 applications by 2030. So obviously, we got to do something to get these things under control. This is our solution to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Command Center. And if I look at Command Center, I can see, my user traffic over here on the left, right? So here you can see if I hover over this line, you can see that there's, about 40 gig of data that's getting transferred through the firewall, about 2,400 users through the firewall. I can see that there's 41 gig of data being transferred through Prisma Access and about 15,000 users over that. And if I look on the right, I can see the applications that people are using, obviously. Now, this is a combination of applications. This is the 4 or 5,000 that we see on the firewalls, and it's also the new applications from the SaaS Inline product that we have that's generating something like 60,000 additional applications. Of those, we carve those into private applications, SaaS applications, and internet applications. If I want to pivot and I want to take a look at SaaS applications more generically, I can just click on the button. And now I drill in and I get them carved up three different ways. I can show unsanctioned applications, tolerated applications, and sanctioned applications. And as you know, this is something that we can configure on the firewall, within Strata Cloud Manager for both firewall and Prisma Access. And it allows us to, just sort of generically assign these applications and control them in a unified way, depending on their category, right? I want to have one set of policies for tolerated applications, a different set of policies for sanctioned applications, the stuff that I pay for and I have subscriptions for. I want to make sure people have access to those things. And then for unsanctioned applications, I generally want to block those things. So if I look up here under the sanctioned applications, I can see there's quite a few, right? I can hover over it. I can see that whatever this Blackboard application is, I've got about a gig of data getting transferred there, being used by 297 users. So this is all well and good, but we have a filter, and I can set Gen AI filter. And if I do that, what I'm seeing all of the AI applications that are on my network. And here you can see that there are 69 SaaS applications on my network with a little over 311 megabytes of data being transferred between them. I can see if you look, this is organized from the least amount of data to the most amount of data being transferred. And here you can see that my top application is actually Grammarly. It's got about 2,600 users using Grammarly on a regular basis. Now, if I look down on the bottom right here under this panel, I've got a panel that says top Gen AI use cases by users, and it shows you how people are using them. So I can see I've got writing assistants, conversational assistants, editors, and also code assistant generators. I can dig into that by clicking on this thing here, and I get a different view of it. Now I can see again that there's 4,200 users, 58 different applications. I get the most popular use case. See, it carves it up. On the left, I've got most popular use case. Then second is conversational agent. Then third is image editor and generator. And then fourth is the code assistant and generator. I can also see threats if I had threats. I don't have threats on this particular tenant. But here I can hover over each one of these and I can see. So here I hover over Grammarly and I can see detail, right? I can see that it's enterprise available, that it's data is used in ML, right? There's a good bit of data just from this panel. I can do the same thing over here, right? For ChatGPT, I can do the same thing here for Firefly. I can go look at DALL-E, right? And see the same. But if I want to get a deeper view, I can click on Review Use Case. Now I'm looking at the writing assistant use case specifically, right? And so what it's going to show in this first panel is the most used application, which we just saw from a second ago is Grammarly, right? I gotta wait for it to refresh. Stand by a second while the screen paints. Okay, so I can see that it's Grammarly. I can see that it is tolerated. I can change that from here. I can change it from sanctioned to unsanctioned or tolerated, however I want to do that. Not on this particular tenant. This particular tenant, I'll never read on the account, so I can't do that myself. But uh, you know, imagine if you will. I can see the total number of applications. I can see the users again. I can see what plugins are being used and how many plugin users there are. If I come down here and take a closer look at Grammarly, right? I can dig into it and I can see, that how I have my threats configured. I can see I can restrict the view to either Prisma Access or just Next Gen Firewall. I can see how many users, and I get this trend line that shows how popular it's been throughout the day. Here, this is throughout the day. I can see how much data gets transferred as well, right? Um, if Prisma Access Browser is involved, which here it's clearly not, I can also get additional detail about the application itself. Um, if I click on View All Attributes, then I get details about the application itself. So I can see, what domains it uses. I get a description. I get the Wikipedia page. I get the input data types, the output data types. Uh, I can come down here and look at the security and privacy tab, and I can see if it's safe from spoofing. I can see who owns the data. Like I get this sort of detailed information about how the application, controls and uses data, right? I can also take a look at its compliance frameworks. So that's a very useful thing as well. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back to the main page. And so that really gives you a good idea of how we're able to go about controlling applications on the network, and you know how the applications themselves are being utilized, whether they represent a significant risk, and to the organization, and how I deal with that particular risk. Are there any questions? Thank you. And it's going to be Command Shift C. It didn't work. Let's go here to